Welcome to Tex Murphy Radio Theater. When we last left our hero, Tex had been shocked to learn he was wanted for Chelsea's alleged murder. With the dual realizations that someone had set him up and the cops didn't mind, Tex boldly if stupidly returns to the site of his month-long nap, finding the house mysteriously vacant. After finding a video recording of Chelsea's funeral, Tex makes quick work of a surprise guest, then steps outside into the waiting arms of the new San Francisco Police Department. And now, Episode 5, Jail, Bail, and Happy Trails.
The cops handcuffed me, but at least they let me keep my clothes on. After a short flight to the cop shop, I was scanned, printed, and photographed. Then they took me upstairs. One of them asked if I wanted some coffee, but I wasn't going to fall for that old trick. I was escorted into the interrogation room. Chair was as uncomfortable as I remembered, but it looked like the bare bulb was a fresh 60 water. I settled in for a battle of wills. 12 hours later, I was ready to confess that I'd kidnapped the Lindbergh baby. I told the cops I wouldn't say another word without my attorney present, but they weren't falling for that old joke, so I resorted to feigning a spastic seizure. Well, that did the trick. A few minutes later, I was safely in the drunk tank, curled up in the fetal position.
Come on, Murphy. We both know you ain't got Tourette's.
My chain's all yanked out, Mac. Go get someone else to pull your fingers.
Shut up. We gotta talk.
Mac sounded serious. Either his hemorrhoids were acting up or things were somehow worse than I thought.
We're gonna have to make this quick. I know we don't exactly send each other birthday cards, but we've helped each other out a few times, and that's worth something.
Tell you what, Mac. Get me out of here and I'll buy you a cake with candles. When's your birthday?
September 7th. But that's not the reason
Virgo. I should have guessed.
Can of voodoo, Murphy. Clements thinks she's being generous, making the charge second degree. That's just because she knows you can't make bail.
Well, that depends. You think it'll be more than a couple $100?
Try 3 more zeros. Maybe you could hawk some stuff.
I was already counting on that. Maybe you could pick me up a couple of lottery tickets.
I got another idea. Punch me.
Look, I appreciate you trying to cheer me up, and any other time I'd be all over it. But seeing as how we're going to exchange birthday cards...
Look, you idiot, if you knock me out, I can say you blindsided me and use my keys and patch cards to escape. It'll be embarrassing as hell, but it's worked before.
I don't think I can do that, Mac. I'm a lover, not a fighter.
That is what Chelsee said.
Excuse me?
Yeah, me and Chelsee used to hook up while you're out of town. She gives great full-body massages. She uses lots of oil. Of course, it takes more oil than it used to, but hell, we talk about you for hours and hours and laugh and laugh. And then we dress up like... Ow! Come on, Murphy! Is that all you got?
We ended up going with Plan B. Matt gave me his keys and pretended I'd knocked him out. Things were finally looking up. Not only was I out of the pokey, but I'd gotten to punch out a fat-nosed bastard cop. On the downside, I owed him birthday cakes for life. And even if I managed to break out of the big house, I'd be on the lam forever. Or at least until I found my one-armed man. I crept down the corridor playing pass-card roulette with Malden's keychain. As I reached an intersection, I paused at the corner.
How did he make bail?
He did, and some friend of his.
He's got friends?
Yeah, stupid friends. And he's going to run like a cheap pair of nylons.
Oh, I hate cheap nylons.
If they were talking about me, well, it seemed too good to be true. Getting bailed out beat the hell out of a jailbreak. So I made like Elmer Fudd hunting Wabbit and tiptoed back to the cell. After some paperwork and a stern warning to stay within the city limits, I found myself in the passenger seat of Louie's Camaro. I'd pretty much decided the whole setup was connected to Chelsee and not me. I'd just been in the wrong place at the wrong time, as usual. I asked Louie if he'd mind making a quick stop at Chelsea's apartment at the Seven Gables. He waited out in the car as I climbed to the 3rd floor, stopping only once to catch my breath. I reached the door and was about to go to work on the lock when I heard something inside the apartment. The door was unlocked and I flung it open, catching a swarthy and guilty-looking fellow by surprise.
Astro diablo.
My suspicions were confirmed when the intruder bolted for the open window. I was right behind him. He managed to give me the slip, but I was able to catch a glimpse of the Nevada license plate on his speeder as it lifted off. I returned to the apartment and started my search with a large pile of mail on the floor near the mail slot in the door. Only one item caught my eye. The new Victoria's Secret catalog. I decided to follow up on a hunch. Sure enough, the bottom drawer of a dresser in Chelsee's bedroom was packed full of lacy underpants and other sexy lingerie. More than ever, I wanted to find her alive and well. I continued to search her apartment until I found her diary. Hey, I'm a PI, and PIs leave no stone unturned. The diary was sealed with one of those chintzy locks, but it was a snap to pick once I found a pair of pliers.
Dear Diary, tomorrow will be 1 year since I met Tex. Looking back, it's hard to believe I'd be interested in this smelly bum that passed out in my newsstand. I've made reservations at the Golden Pagoda to celebrate the anniversary, but I'll probably have to drag him there. He's hands down the most irresponsible man I've ever met. I know he likes being a PI, but I just don't think he's cut out for it. It seems like he gets beat up a lot and he never makes any money. I think he'd do so much better as a security guard or maybe a doorman. I just wish I knew what he thinks about me. He still wears his wedding ring. Maybe I'll ask him about it tonight.
As usual, Chelsee was speaking in riddles. Did she like me or not? It was too confusing to think about, and I had bigger fish to fry. I continued my search, finding plenty of interesting things, but nothing related to Chelsea's disappearance. Not until I checked the vid phone, that is.
Message 1, left 33 days ago.
Hey, Chelsee, it's me. I'm out of bed now, but I cut myself shaving and the tourniquet won't stay on. I'll be there as soon as I can.
Message 2, left 32 days ago.
Hello, Chelsee. This is Professor Perry. I'd like to get together outside of class and discuss the paper you wrote about Anastasia Romanoff. It's absolutely extraordinary. You have my number. I'll talk to you soon.
Message 3, left 28 days ago. Message 4, left 9 days ago.
Hey, big sister. Look, I'm in a bit of a bind, and I really need to get a hold of you. There's no way for you to contact me at the moment, but I'd appreciate if you can be home tomorrow at this time, and I'll call back, okay? Love you.
Message 5, left 8 days ago.
Okay, sis, now I'm getting worried. I wanted to see if you got those books I sent. I need the cash pretty bad. That little guy at the pawn shop should have given you top dollar for them. I hope you get this message soon. I have to leave town, but I'll get back to you when I can.
I found the books referred to in the message, but I couldn't for the life of me remember a single thing about Chelsea's brother, not even his name. But I did know a little guy at a pawn shop. I don't know how I'm ever going to repay you for this, Louie.
It wasn't just me, Murph. Don't tell Rook I told you, but he pitched in a bunch. So did Clint and some of the other folks in the neighborhood.
No, I mean, I have no idea how I'm going to come up with cash.
You don't have to, Murph. We'll get it all back. I got faith in you.
I didn't have the heart to tell Louie I was about to roll the dice on what must have been most of his life savings. He knew I was a rotten gambler. I mean, I can't even break even on an ATM. But it was a calculated risk I had to take. If I didn't find out what had really happened to Chelsee, no one would. And unless the truth came out, Louie would get his money back, but I'd end up going to jail for a zillion years. I was planning on going somewhere, but it wasn't jail. The guy in Chelsea's apartment had come from Nevada, and the stamp on the inside of her brother's books had read, Deluxe Importing Exporting, Chance Bando, Proprietor, Las Vegas. Ironically enough, my search for the proverbial one-armed man was about to lead me to the land of one-armed bandits.